Miss Farah, I'm sorry. Are you there? Thank you. Good evening, everyone. My name is Gail Grandison, and I'm the chair of the Youth and Education Committee. I want to take the time to welcome each and every one of you to the meeting tonight. It's 7:40, and we're going to officially commence this meeting. I am going to start by asking you to please introduce yourself, whether you're a committee member or board member. And let's see. Sorry, I'm dealing with 3 screens here. So I'm going to start from who I see. Kamara, could you please introduce yourself?
Hello, Kamara Swaby, committee member.
Thank you. Miss Charles? Hyacinth Charles?
Yes. Hi, good night. Good night. Hi, I'm Hyacinth. I am a mental health provider in the community.
Thank you, Miss Charles. Michael Lee Yeo? Am I saying it correctly, Michael? Correct me if I pronounce it incorrectly. Michael? Okay. Miss Saunders?
Good night, everyone. A committee member. Thank you.
Thank you. George?
Yeah, good evening, everyone. George State, committee member.
Thank you. George, do you pronounce your name George or Jorge?
No, George. It's a long
George.
story.
That's okay. I have a colleague in my office that, and I can't call him George. It's Jorge. So I'm like, wait, are we pronouncing this right, or do we just call you whatever we feel?
Well, you can call me whatever you want.
No. I mean, if you were.
No, but it really was supposed to be spelled George, but in Cuba they translated it on my birth certificate.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'm like, are we just calling him whatever we feel like at this time? Or how are we pronouncing this correctly? I've always wanted to ask you that, and I never remember.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what I'm called.
Okay. All right. I appreciate that. Thank you. Let's see. Michael, there you are.
Sorry, Gail. I was here. I just had trouble logging in. My screen was going off and on. But good evening, everybody. Michael.
Oh, you broke up. Say that again. We didn't hear you. We just heard Michael.
Good evening, everybody. Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Do you hear me fine? Awesome. Good evening, everybody.
Yep.
Michael Lee, committee member and education consultant. Glad to be here.
Thank you. Welcome, Michael. Noreen George.
Hello, good evening. Can you hear me?
Evening. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Because I've been trying with this mic for the longest while.
Okay. Who else am I seeing? Kamara, Michael. Miss Mark? Edith? Mark?
Yes. Good evening, everyone. Community member. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Albrecht?
Good evening, everyone. Committee member and a board member.
Thank you. Let's see. Mr. Benson, welcome.
Thank you very much. Good night, everyone. I am a guest here today. I'm from the Prep for Prep program, here to share some information about what we have to offer for the youth in New York City.
Thank you. We will hear from Mr. Benson shortly. I'm seeing a telephone number ending in 78. So can you identify yourself, who that person is? Person on the phone? ending in 78. Okay. Miss Duncan, please introduce yourself.
Good evening, everyone. Natasha Duncan, board member and committee member.
Thank you. Now let's see. Miss McCain Brown.
Good evening, all. Good evening, Ms. Grandison. Monica McCain Brown, committee member.
Thank you. Miss Cologne.
Good evening, everyone. I'm a community member and glad to be here.
Thank you. Miss Gordon.
Hello, good evening. Dorothy Gordon, and I am a community board member.
Hi, Miss Gordon. Welcome.
Thank you.
Miss Judd.
Miguel Parker, right in front here.
Miss Judd. I lost her. Miss Smith.
Oh, mute.
Oh, there you go, Miss Judd. Melissa, introduce yourself.
My name is Melissa Judd, and I am just a community member, and I like being a part of your monthly meetings.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much, Melissa. Miss Terry Smith. Yes.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can. Who's on 7-8? Just introduce yourself, please.
Yes, I'm sorry. I was trying to before, but for some reason you couldn't hear me. My name is Bianca Signes, committee member.
Hi, Bianca. How are you?
Good.
Good, good. Miss Smith, are you able to unmute? Terry? No? Miss Farah, are you able to unmute Miss Smith?
I can only request that she unmutes, but I can't make her unmute.
Okay.
I see her camera's on though.
Yeah, I can see her. Okay, Miss Smith. Let me see. Did I miss anyone? Miss Rodriguez, Mercedes Rodriguez.
Hi, everyone. My name is Mercedes. I'm a project manager at 311, and I was just here because I just wanted to participate in everything that's going on with my community.
Oh, awesome. Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Happy to have you here. Let's see. Miss Cologne.
Hi.
Miss Smith.
Good evening.
Hi.
Yes, I'm sorry. I'm having so much trouble tonight. I don't know what's going on. But good evening, everyone. Committee member, glad to be here. Glad to see everyone.
Awesome. Thank you. So I'm really happy to have everyone here. As we move forward, I'm going to do the chairperson's report. Not a very long report tonight. So to start, let's all remember October 18th from 10 to 3. There is the Community Board 17 Social Service Fair. It's going to be held on Utica between Church and Linden. It's from 10 to 3. I look forward to seeing everyone there. Now, my committee members and our guests and folks who, come on to our meeting, we will be tabling the youth and education. We'll be tabling there. I ask, come out and help assist us at that table. If you have some time that Saturday. So it's from 10 to 3. So please join us that day. and you can share this information with your relatives and friends, and just get the word out in the community that this fair. I don't have the full agenda of what's going to be happening, but I do know that we do have a couple of giveaways from the Youth and Education, and I'm talking kind of raffle giveaways, mostly to the kids. We have pamphlets with information. We want to encourage more folks to, come to the board meetings, especially those meetings. I think the last board meeting we had Habitat for Humanity. There is some, as they call it, affordable housing, but housing that's going up over, I think, in the East New York area within our boundaries. So they came to present. I wish there was more people there because it was very informative, but also, the thing that gets me with these is the affordability word when you look at what they're offering, because I think these are, I don't want to say condos, I might be wrong, but these are housing that you can to buy and stuff. And I think one of the things that struck me, and I just voted, I'll say I voted against the proposal, but for me, I felt like if you wanted a 2-bedroom, you had to be making 85,000 or more. And I know all of this is based on these formulas based, from the federal and how New York sees this AMI or what. But when you're talking about, if you have husband and wife, if they're making, or two people, they're making that much money, yes, they can. But if you've got two people that's not meeting that requirement, that minimum $85,000 requirement, then it's out of reach, right? And then if you have, let's say it's a single person that's looking to buy something but not making that kind of money, these places are all out of reach in terms of the minimum, and these are the minimum starting requirement that you must be making once they do all the investigation and stuff. So I just felt like this is not in reach for a lot of our young people in our community, right? And maybe not even some adults in our community when you put it at that price point, right? So I think the next step is to go to city council. I'm not against housing being built in our community because we need it, but I just feel like when you say affordability, I want really make it, even if there's a certain percentage or what, that you can at least start at a lower price point. But and when they do these things, I think mainly, especially in this community, to the young folks that are in our community that wants to stay here, that we would love to see them buy and invest in the community. So I'm not against housing and building and stuff like that. I just want to see some of our young, people being given a chance, being able to say, hey, I'm 20 or 25 and I'm able to own this, so so this is why I feel like, community involvement coming out when these kind of projects come to the board for a vote. And yes, you have to be a board member to vote, but as a community person, you also have a say. And sometimes, you can probably come up with something that we're not even thinking about or what, but just share your ideas and thoughts, in a room filled with community peers. I think it's so helpful and necessary. So please, spread the word, get your folks out, especially coming to the fair on Saturday. Moving on, October 11th, there's a street tree care. This is going to be done by the Parks Department, and it's going to be at the Tilden Park, 4802 Tilden Avenue. The weather is still kind of nice. Saturday, I think it's supposed to rain, but I hope not. But you can reach out to the board to get more information around this. You can, or reach out to our chair, Miss Burlock of the Parks and Beautification. Miss Farah, if you can please drop Miss Burlock's their email in the chat. Much appreciated.
All right.
Thank you. So final thing I want to talk about is, and this was the chair spoke about this at the last board meeting, but I wanted to bring it to the committee just to show so we understand. And it's regarding the updated committee membership. So moving forward, there's going to be a step of requirements and guidelines if you want to become a committee member. And the reason for this is that before initially we would just give you a form, tell you fill it out, and you fill it out and you automatically became a committee member. The problem is that folks were not and are not attending the committee meetings. And for those who've been, on these various committees for such for a period of time, the way it works is once you become a committee member, you are a voting member of that committee. When what's been happening is that people were just showing up whenever they wouldn't come, they wouldn't say whether they were staying on the committee. Miss Farah, drop the information also in the chat for the 18th. Thank you, Miss Judd. When several committees, and there's some committees like maybe housing, land use, and zoning that has and commerce that has a lot of applications that comes to them. And the thing is that these applications, whether it's for liquor license or to get community vote on housing or different projects, it requires a vote within the committee. What has been happening in some committees is that folks are not showing up. So they cannot vote or even have a really full discussion on any kind of proposal or applications that come before them. So it prompted the chair to make a few changes, and I'm going to, just read out what they have here. So moving forward, the following requirements will apply for joining the committee. And for all of you guys that are here, I would consider your grandfathered in. Anyone new that joins this committee, these are the requirements. So to be eligible, an individual must have attended at least 2 meetings of the committee within the past 4 months. So you have to attend the meetings and then you can sign up, okay? The applicants must complete the updated committee registration form, and that form is found on the CB17 website. The form will include a short statement of interest in which the applicant explains why they wish to join the committee. There's a probationary period. Once the form is submitted, the applicant enters a 60 to 90-day probationary period. And during this period, the applicant must maintain regular attendance and may not miss 3 consecutive meetings. And the applicant cannot vote until the probationary period is complete. The final determination: at the conclusion of the probationary period, CB17 will review the applicant's participation and make a determination. The applicant will then be informed whether they have been appointed as a committee member. Right. So if you are on here and you're not a member of the committee, but you're thinking about it, these are the steps that you will now have to follow. we also going to encourage you to visit the website to learn more about each committee. If you can do more than one, that is fine. Or just if you want to do just that committee that interests you or holds dear to your heart, please do so. You'll see the committee, each committee has like mission statements and their purpose and stuff like that and what they do. And there's also the meeting schedules. These are all on the website. And if you want to go back and look at past meetings, we do have a YouTube channel, because being that our meetings are all virtual now, we have to post the meetings, and the board has a YouTube channel where all the meetings from all the committees and even the board is posted. So if you want more information on this, or you're not clear about anything, please reach out to Miss Farah. She's on the line right now, but you can always call her or email her, and she will be more than willing to give you, any further information that is needed. Okay. I'm going to drop her email in the chat. Is there anything, Ms. Farah, you want to say on this in regards to this?
It seems like we covered all of our bases. The one thing I wanted to say, and this is kind of like a preface to the people who are a little bit scared about the probationary period, because I know I had a lot of complaints in regards to the, I believe it's 30 to 90-day probationary period. It's not meant to punish people or to not incite people and encourage people to join our committees. We kind of just want the people who are joining the committees or are interested in joining the committees to know a little bit more about CB17, our rules and our procedures. For example, if you're thinking about joining land use or commerce, you kind of need to know a little bit about ULURP applications, a little bit about SLA applications or cannabis applications, so that you can properly vote for those matters and properly represent your communities. So if you have any questions and such, like Ms. Grandison said, my email is below, or you can shoot me, you can give us a call in the office and I'll answer any questions or doubts. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, that's for schools. Okay, so any questions from anything
Yes,
that I've
Ms.
said?
Anderson, I don't know if you could see my hands. My hands have been up. I don't know if you see it.
Yeah, I can't see hands. This WebEx is just too much. So if you have something to say, just please. I'm sorry, I can't see. I don't know why. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, but please go ahead, Mr. Tate.
Yes, my question is regarding the probation. To be clear, I mean, I am a committee member. However, if a new person comes, they have 2 months, they have to attend 2 meetings before they become a member. And then there is a 90-day probationary period before they could vote, which means they have to have attended at least 5 meetings before they could vote.
Yes,
Just want to be clear on that.
I am going to ask Ms. Farah to address this, because I think Ms. Farah and the chair worked on this, and they have a better insight. I am now getting and seeing the full content of what they're saying. I also thought that the 60 to 90 days, it's so that's 2 to 3 months.
So I can answer that question actually, Ms. Tate. Thank you so much for asking. So the probationary period, and during that time, we're just making sure that the committee member is well acquainted with our policies and procedures. Because the people who have to make the determination on the application is the chairperson of the committee and the chairperson as a whole. If they come to a determination before that, then the application goes in. If they make the determination in 30 days, then the applicant is the applicant is made aware and properly registered as a committee member. So it really depends on like how long they've been attending, how active they are. Maybe a committee chair thinks that they want to see repeated action and repeated investment before they can make a determination. Maybe someone is just like, they showed up 2 times, I think I'm good to go. So that time frame really depends on the chair of the committee and the chairperson of the board.
So then, would it be safe to say then maybe that somewhere within here you can say, that admitting a applicant is at the discretionary discretion of that chairperson, and not necessarily that they don't, that maybe the 60 to 90 days may not be necessary if the chairperson decides, well, look, yeah, this person has been coming for quite a while and I want to have them, be a committee member because they add value to it. I'm not saying the exact language, but I'm just, because I think that's what I'm hearing you say, that if, let's say, Mr. Tate keeps coming to my committee and he wants to join, I do have the authority to say, well, you know what, you don't have to go through that probationary period. You've been, a really loyal non-member coming, and so I'm going to, just let your application become firm. Is that what you're saying in that way?
Sort of. So if like you said, if both members make that determination that they're a good fit, then yeah, then the probationary period might not be that long. But we did keep it a bit extended because some chairs expressed that, they wanted a little bit more time, especially the ones that have a little bit more issues with quorum. Showing up for 2 meetings, they felt like is not enough for them to know that this person is going to stick around. Because also if they only show up for 2 meetings and they never show up again, then we're back to square one of having to wait 3 months to have them removed. So this is just a precautionary step before they become a committee member, just to save everyone and the committees the hassle of not having quorum to vote minutes and such like that, stuff like that.
All right, thank you. Any other questions, Mr. Tate?
I saw Kamara had her hand up.
No, just your report. I do have a request regarding a past member.
Okay. You said it's her hand up. Is there someone else that have their hands up also?
Yes, I have a question.
Okay. Yes, go ahead, please.
If in fact, if you're not able to make a meeting, should we reach out to you and let you know? Because things do happen, things do come up. If we're not able to, okay, so within I guess from September to June, that's normally when we meet. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay, so out of that year, that span, what's allowed? If you miss 2 meetings, are you in trouble? Is that a red flag or? Because I try not to miss meetings. It's important that you get the information.
Right.
But things happen.
Exactly. As I said, I really wish that this had, before it was written, that the chairs had met to really provide like the content of what we felt is within reason. Because I see it says here that you may not miss 3 consecutive meetings. So I guess it means, okay, if you came in January and February, but you miss March, April, and May, then there is the possibility, and correct me here, Ms. Farah, there's a possibility then that that's a no. Some chairs may say, well, no, you missed these 3 meetings.
I don't know what we were talking about. Like, suppose someone says they're interested in, they fill out the they say they joined January, February, and they filled out the form to say that they joined the last 2 months. The 3 consecutive meetings means that they cannot now miss March, April, May, and still be considered a board member. I mean, a committee member.
Committee member.
Yeah.
Okay.
So within that time frame, I mean, you miss 1 meeting. Ideally, you wouldn't be missing 2, but you definitely cannot be missing 3.
Right.
That's what. Because
So-
this is like anything else. There's always an interview period, and if you show up to like an interview late, if you're not showing up at all, that doesn't reflect well on your commitment to the committee.
Right.
So
I mean, it's different if someone is sick. I can understand that.
obviously, there's exceptions, which is why it's
There's
not just
exception.
a numerical, you know, the chair and the chairperson of the committee make that determination, knowing all the factors that come in. If there's any excuses, they will be forwarded to the appropriate party so they can make their determination.
Right. Yeah. And I would say, given, I can't speak for anyone else but me, I would go on a case by case basis.
Absolutely, yeah. This
That's
will
the way-
definitely be a case by case basis. There will
Yeah.
be no just
Mhm.
letting anyone in just because they filled it out too.
You know, I heard Kamara had her hand up.
Yes, this is more of a request than a question. Going back into the idea in terms of being adequately trained in order to fully participate in committee meetings as a committee member, can I request that for those interested in a committee, whether they're on the community board or not, there'll be a standardized template of information they need, whether it's an email with relevant information, because depending on the flow of the meeting and what's going on, even if you attend 2 meetings, I don't think that's adequate enough in order for a like someone who's new to the space, in order to feel informed on what's best, especially depending on the committee.
Mhm.
So can I request, like, if, for example, it's, let's say land use, and you were talking about SLAs and stuff like that, sending them the relevant information so they can learn about it so they're not being lost. Because again, I think even though we definitely want to encourage people to come to following meetings and actually participate, like vote appropriately and responsibly, I think we should do our best in order to prepare them enough so they don't feel like they're being pushed away. And second of all, I think in the meantime, while we're promoting more like strength in our committee members, I think for those who join the meetings but are not committee members, just reminding of the things they can do and take from it, just in case someone who doesn't have the time commitment to be a committee member can still feel like they're getting something out of it. Because I think we
Yeah.
should just emphasize those 2 things.
Yeah, and on the latter point, I welcome for those who attend the meeting but are not committee members. I always feel that they bring value. I understand that commitment might be hard for some to do this every month at the same time in this time period or what, especially if you have a job where you work at nights or you work shifts or what. So, and on your first point, yeah, that is fine. There's always information, we can work around that, and that's not a problem. It's not. But I appreciate that, Kamara. Something to think about. It says 2 participants have raised hands. I don't think I can see who raised their hands. So whoever hands those are, please. It just gives me a notice, but it doesn't tell me who. So please.
Hi,
seeing
this is Simone Monet. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Farah, you were going to say something?
No, I was just trying to tell Ms. Grandison who's raising their hands.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Ms.
Okay.
Wall?
Yes, it's Simone Monet. So I just came in late, but from what I'm hearing is there's discussion around a sort of streamed way of determining someone's membership. just
Yes.
in this committee, or is it going to be like a standard for the whatever committee you're on and community
It's gonna
board?
be a
Standard.
standard
Oh,
for every committee.
okay. So I think that if you're looking at 2 meetings and each meeting is 2 hours, and that person has dedicated like for two 4 full hours, that that along with sort of like an introduction letter, which would show them some of the basic general information would be suffice. Me personally, I've been on committees before. I was on this committee a long, long time ago in 2017 and just came back recently. So, like, I didn't know that there was a procedure, or is there, this procedure will be new to let someone know that they're a committee member. But I think that missing meetings, I think there should probably be a certain amount of meetings before you determine that the person is not dedicated. I mean, generally speaking, in organizations, for example, if you're a leader and you miss like 2 consecutive meetings, you may be in jeopardy of losing your position. But if you're a general member and you miss more than 2 meetings, you've just missed more than 2 meetings. So I think that there should probably be a spectrum of what that means as far as if your membership, if you're an officer, if you're on a board, if you're the board member or something like that. I think that the qualifications and the criteria should be different.
Yeah. So this procedural committee procedural moving forward is new. It's just something that came out, was mentioned at the last board meeting. So look, I feel, and we have to move on, because we have a guest speaker, but I feel, I hear everything everyone is saying, and I do believe that, we need to maybe have to rethink the content of this and how we move forward with it, because there are a lot of different circumstances that people may need to get around, or what. We don't want to discourage anyone. So I think what I'm going to do is take another look at this fully, and I will have a talk with the chair, who did join, Mr. Daly. I saw him there, and Miss Farah, and try to get a better understanding, maybe with some other chairs, like how does this work for us? Because I feel like it needed to come to us first, to just get played out, and see how it really works. Okay. Did anyone else have their hand up? Okay. Mr. Daly, I'm going to give you 2 minutes. Are you there?
I am. I just have to unmute. All right. So actually, I'm gonna excuse myself for about 30 seconds or so. I'm actually heading over to the visual for that young man. So I'll come back on. So I'm just
Okay.
gonna mute myself for a minute or so. Okay.
Okay, I have a guest speaker and I want to get him on, so let me get that done, and when you come back on.
I'm still listening. I just can't talk right now.
I get it. All right, thank you. All right, we'll hear from you later. Okay, so moving on, our guest speaker, Mr. Benson. Dondre Benson is an admission officer from Prep for Prep. And are you guys familiar with Prep for Prep? All my principals that might be on here are school officials.
Yeah,
I see
I'm
Dorothy. I
very
saw
familiar with it.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Benson. Please introduce yourself and educate us, for those who don't know and who needs a refresher course about Prep for Prep.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you very much for the opportunity to speak with you all here tonight. And I'm also very glad to hear that some of you are already familiar with the program, and I saw that there's a Prep for Prep alum here, which is amazing. I'm also a Prep for Prep alum from Contingent 29. So yeah, pleased to share some more information about a program that's very near and dear to me. So the goal of the Prep for Prep program is to identify high-performing students in the 5th, 6th, and 7th grades that are currently attending public schools, charter schools, or parochial schools in New York City, and to help prepare and place those students into private schools in New York City and boarding schools across the Northeast. We have two separate programs. Oh, wow. Okay, so we have two separate programs, one for 5th and 6th graders, which places them into private schools in New York City. And then we have another program called Prep 9 for 7th grade students, which places them into boarding schools across the Northeast. And the way that the program is able to, place these students into these institutions that do cost a lot of money and that do charge tuition is because Prep for Prep has been around since 1978. And because we've been partnering with these schools for so long, they reserve a specific amount of spots for students that are applying through our program. And these schools set aside a specific amount of financial aid dollars. And this is need-based financial aid. So these schools take a look at the family's financial information, and then they're able to provide an amount that those families would be contributing. And more times than not, actually pretty much most of the time, it is very affordable for our families. And if that package isn't to a family's liking, then Prep for Prep is able to kind of mediate that process with the school so that it becomes something that is affordable for them. All right, so that's how we're able to place students into the schools. And we look for high-performing students. These are students that
Andre,
yes.
I'm sorry. Can you hear me? Your Wi-Fi is going in and out, so is everyone hearing that, or is it just me?
He sounds fine to me. You
Oh,
were
it's
just
just
cutting
you.
out a little bit.
I'm hearing him well.
I think
Yeah.
it's you, Gail. I think it's you.
You're hearing? It might be me. Okay, never mind. Sorry, go ahead.
No problem. So by high performing students, we are looking for students in the 5th, 6th, or 7th grades that are receiving mostly 3s and 4s on their report cards, mostly 3s and 4s on their state exam scores, and have a strong attendance record. Those are the three main things that we are looking for in students. There are some other factors, but as far as the application process, that is the most important information that we do kind of go through. All right, and so to prepare the students for the private schools, we offer a 14-month academic program. These are advanced classes that we offer at private schools that we partner with in Manhattan. And these are classes that are taught by teachers and professors that are either at public schools or private schools that dedicate their time to teach our students during the summer. So we have classes during the summer for 7 weeks. These are classes that happen at the private schools that we do partner with, and we do offer transportation for 5th and 6th grade students directly to that school. So this is a bus service that would pick students up from their homes in all 5 boroughs at the beginning of the day, and they would drop them off at that school. Students would take those classes during the day, and then that bus would drop them directly back to their homes. These classes happen Monday through Friday during the summer. So it is a big time commitment. And then after that initial 7-week program, the classes continue during the school year. And the classes happen on Wednesdays after school and on Saturdays on the weekend. And during the school year, our program unfortunately isn't able to provide bus service because they're all being reserved by the different public schools, charter schools, sports teams. So it would be on the family to make that time commitment to drop off their student on Wednesdays after school and then on Saturdays as well. It would be during the school year. So let's say a student is applying in the 5th grade, the 5th grade application process would take up most of that school year. So if you start applying in September or October, you would receive a decision by May, right? And then you would be starting the program that summer. So the summer between 5th and 6th grade, you would start taking those classes. During the 6th grade school year, you would continue taking classes with us twice a week. And it would be then that we have our own academics department, which would begin scheduling tours of these private schools or of these boarding schools for families so that they can begin that application process. So once in the program, you would only be staying, or students would only be staying at their school, at their community school, or whatever school that they're placed into for 1 year. During that year, they would be applying out of the school. And then by the end of that 6th grade school year, that student will know what school they would be starting for 7th grade. And then we offer some more classes during the summer between 6th and 7th grade to prepare the students. This academic course is very rigorous, and this is, I would say, the most important part of our program because it over-prepares students to be successful at these schools. So once they get to the schools, they don't have to worry about the academic portion. That's mostly about fitting into the community and figuring out the different things that they want to participate in socially and from an extracurricular perspective. While the students are also taking these classes with us, we do have advisors, which are alums of the program that have already gone through, that are currently in high school or college, that are mentoring and guiding the students in the program while they are taking those classes during the summer and during the school year as well. So yeah, I think that's the preparation portion and the placement portion. Once the students are at these private schools, we have guidance counselors, which follow up with the students at least once a month. They do check-ins with the students to make sure that they're doing well academically, socially, and emotionally. These are guidance counselors that are in constant conversation with the parents, with the administrators at the school, and are also talking with our own academics department. So these students have a great community of support and resources that they can always rely on while they're at these institutions. On top of the placement into these schools, our program also offers internship opportunities for the students, and these are paid internships with a number of different industries that we have connections with. Me personally, my first job through Prep for Prep was an internship at Deutsche Bank on Wall Street, which was an amazing experience for me. And then from then on, I went on to continue working every summer after that throughout college as well. So there are internship opportunities. We also have our own team of counselors that help with the college application process. So students will receive support in terms of preparation for testing and any other resources that they may need as far as tutoring. And then once the students are in college, those same amount of resources are available to the students. And then the program helps with professional job placement as well. So once the students enter into the program, we like to say that it's prep for life because the community is never ending. And it's because of this alumni network that we have grown throughout the years that we are able to provide a lot of these opportunities for the students. So yeah, and the reason that the program does choose these private schools and these boarding schools is because of the resources that they are able to provide for students. The class sizes are significantly smaller. It's 12 to 15 kids. They tend to have a liberal arts curriculum, which strengthens students in all areas of education, from language arts to the sciences, and it also gives students an opportunity to be independent, right? Students do get the choice of which classes that they do take so that they can really start shaping the type of education that they do receive. They can also do research in different areas that they are extremely interested in. And they're also given the opportunity to experiment and kind of discover things that they may not necessarily know, that they are interested in, or being exposed to new things, whether it's new sports, whether it's playing an instrument, whether it's performing in a play, whether it's traveling abroad. These are all opportunities that are available to the students, and then make them as strong applicants as possible when they do apply to college, and gives them a wealth of experience when they do enter into the quote unquote real world as well. So yeah, I believe that's all aspects of our program. Eligibility, once again, is 3s and 4s on the report cards, 3s and 4s on the state exam. We have a 3-part application process. The documents that we need for the first level are the report cards from 2 previous school years, most recent state exam scores, and then students are also asked to submit a 1-page essay from a list of topics. It's 2 topics that they're able to choose from, and then they submit that as well. We review that information, and then after reviewing that, we make decisions by committee to move students on to the second level, which is a little bit more intensive, where we ask for the entire academic transcript from kindergarten up until the current grade. We also ask for the financial information of families as well. And this is so we can gain a better understanding of how much those families are making, and then we can start to estimate how much they might have to contribute when they are placed at these private schools and these boarding schools. And then during the last level of our application process, there is a virtual interview for students, and there is an in-person IQ test. And that's pretty much the only 2, like outside of gathering information, those are the opportunities that we're really able to interact with students, see them face to face, and get to kind of know their personalities socially as well. So as much as the academic portion is important, we are looking at students that have a great attendance record, that are participating in their communities, that are engaged in learning, and that are active, students that have some experience in activities, either in school or outside of school, or at least have an interest in certain areas. And yeah, I think that's all of the information. Yeah, if anybody has any questions, please feel free to ask.
I have a comment, and I thank you. A few comments and questions. I thank you very much for your presentation. As a former teacher, assistant principal, and guidance counselor, I have worked with many students with the program, along with other programs. And my daughter went through Prep for Prep 9 and went to Phillips Academy Andover. So I'm very familiar with the program. I am happy to say I'm glad you spoke about busing, because I didn't let her do the 5th grade one because I thought it was very strenuous on parents to get children there. And I saw it with some parents having to leave school early and get there. So that's great that the busing service for parents for those children who are going into Prep for Prep and not Prep for Prep 9. So I think that's great. I think one thing though, and I don't know if you all are doing it now because my daughter went many moons ago, is preparation though and advice in terms of what I heard from my daughter and my son, who both went to Phillips Academy, about preparing the kids to deal with some of the socioeconomic diversity that they might experience when they get to these schools. And I think that's a component that should be addressed. Well, I don't know what's happening now, but I think that's one I think will continually be something that I think needs to be addressed so students can deal with some of the differences when they get there. But again, I think it's a wonderful program. I'm glad that it's still continuing. And I think too that there needs to be more exposure, as you have done here tonight, because I think not many parents are aware of whether it's Prep for Prep Oliver, TEAC, ABC. I don't think many of us are aware of those programs that are available for our children. So thank you very much for the presentation.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much for definitely highlighting that. And yeah, one of the great benefits of the program is that we are able to prepare students academically for what to expect at these schools, because we can take a look at the curriculum, we can have the teachers come in, we can have the different professors, we can have the the current administrators at the school and communicate with them. Unfortunately, I'm not sure. Well, and at our program also has a psychology class that our students take. We have a life skills class, where students learn time management, and how to I guess deal with some of the social issues that they may face in the school. But as far as the socioeconomic differences, I'm not sure that there's anything that can really prepare you for that. And that's not an excuse, but it's just that you really aren't aware of like the amount of wealth that some people truly come from. And I feel like that's part of the social experience when you do get to a school, and finding your own friend group and finding what's for you and what's not for you. And I mean, I feel like there's nothing that can really prepare you for, like when I went to a private school in Brooklyn called Berkeley Carroll, and at the time, there was the daughter of the founder of Shake Shack that was going to my school. Like there's nothing that can really prepare you for that. But we do prepare students for some of the academic hardships, and they are aware that they're entering predominantly white institutions, and we do have support services that can help them along the way. But there are some things that students will have to figure out on their own, and that's in any new environment that they go into.
Yeah. I think when it comes to these schools, there's that assumption of wealth that we all, be going, because we have this notion that every white person is rich or have money because they're sending their kids there and, to these schools. And you know what they say about assumptions, right? And because we don't know, we assume, and we don't have concrete proof of what that person income may be. We tend to feel like, oh, we can't do it or what. But my daughter didn't go through Prep for Prep. She went to Early Steps, and she went to Friends. And there were a few parents I was sadly like making that assumption, like, okay, there's all these folks and stuff that they probably are very well financially off, and that was not true. That was not true. They they just knew this is where they want the kids to go, and they worked the program with the financial aid and stuff like that to get the kids in there, however or whatever they did or what. And that kind of tell me like, hey, don't make an assumption that every time you want to put your kid or have your kid in the best academic space, that it's only available for white folks because they have the money. No, not necessarily. So I don't want us to have that mindset, right? Because it kind of stops parents from seeking out and learning about all these different programs. I see there are two hands up.
I just wanted to comment on that, Ms. Grandison. I just think, and I'm going to leave it at that, I do think, though, that the boarding schools versus some of the schools in New York City are a bit different. And when my kids went to Andover, there was a lot of wealth there.
Yeah.
And I think the students need to know, though, our students, and as Mr. Benson said, part of it is learning experience. But I think if there's some little more intervention before the kids get there, they might be able to some of them might be able to deal with it a little differently, because I have heard of instances, which I won't say, where it was very detrimental on the socio for some of these kids. So again, it all depends. And I think if people have
Yeah,
an idea assuming things, we don't assume. We need to know.
No.
An assumption, as you said, it's not good.
Yeah. I don't know who had their hand up first. I see Dorothy, George, and Michael. So I'm
I
gonna let
did.
you guys work it out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go ahead,
Yeah.
George.
I have. Yeah, I'm George State, and I'm also a beneficiary of the Prep 9 because my daughter went through Prep 9, and yes, way back then she went to some sorted at St. Mark's, 2001. So a whole lot ago with Mr.
Don't give your age
Molinaro.
away.
Yeah, so I said I agree with Ms. Brown regarding the socioeconomic thing that if it's not addressed to the children, maybe it could be addressed to the parents to at least let them know where they're going. Yeah, because at St. Mark's, there were children that were really, really came from work. Like, for instance, my daughter's first roommate was the daughter of the guy who invented the Ethernet. Okay, there was also the son of the German chancellor, the daughter of Jamaica Kincaid, etc., etc. And some of the homes right near by the school where there were some homes that had their swimming pool, indoor swimming pool, indoor bowling alley, and everything. My daughter, Tasca, she adjusted, but even myself, when I went up there, it was like, and I was visited some of the people. It was, it was like eye-opening experience, but it's good in a way because it opened up your eye to what's out there. Yeah, but I would say it was a great experience. My daughter went through school and they helped her find a college and everything. And now she's she's the head of school at Trinity.
Oh, wow.
So head of department at Trinity. So which is one of the schools that you guys work with.
Yeah.
So I'm really happy that she went through. But again, yes, it was a little experience, like the socioeconomic. Not to mention me being a Yankee in the Red Sox territory. That's a joke. Aside from that, but yes, I would recommend it to anyone who have a child because it's really a good experience. They give you the academics and the help to get you through. And yes, while she was up there, she had kids that had gone through prep for prep that kept in touch with her before her, that advised her and everything. So again, I'm thankful for your presentation, and I'm really glad that you brought it out to the community so some more people could take advantage of that. Thank you, Mr. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Tate. Miss Gordon, and then Michael, Dorothy, then Michael.
Yeah, I won't take too long because Dante, you did an excellent job in the presentation. Actually, I think you are very mild with what the program is. As a parent, it was an excellent program. My daughter did Prep 9 cohort 20. Yeah, 20. And she's gonna have a different conversation than I am. As a parent, it was excellent to her. It was like, why this was torture. A lot of blood, sweat, and tears and cries. And why are we doing this? Just go for it. And her first internship with JP Morgan, and she was only high schooler as a internship. And because of prep, she would call me. It's like, Mom, can I go to happy hour? Absolutely not. You cannot. So thank you for the program. I'm glad it's still around. And as Monica mentioned, she ended up going to Petty boarding school, and it is different than the folks who are in the city opposed to a boarding school, because I couldn't send her to Switzerland. I couldn't do all these different things that she's seen, like the heirs of the Hess Foundation, the Hess gas. We just couldn't, we just could not. But it made her a better person, a bigger person, growth. She was one of the only persons that she knew that had an internship with the WNBA, and all her friends were like, how can I get this internship? They couldn't. And she actually works there after college. She actually works there in finance, and she's, but I think to me as a parent, it was an excellent program. To her, she probably has PTSD from your program. But thank you so much for what you do for the community and for the educational environment. Thank you.
Michael? You're mute. Okay, I think you're off now. Can you hear us? Oh, we can't hear you. Maybe. Are you on mute? It's not showing that you're on mute. Seems like there's an issue with your mic. Oh, now you're on mute. You're off. We can't hear you.
Ooh,
Oh.
I'm back. So whenever you get a chance, Chair.
Oh, okay. All right. Give me a few minutes. I'm just trying to get Michael. While Michael gets this, still can't hear you. We see your lips moving. I'm surprised there's so many prep for prep people on this call.
That's a
Oh,
yeah, but it's also that's a well, not really a shock to me. Prep for prep parents and alums are very unassuming, I would say. You find connections in everywhere and in all walks of life. So yeah, definitely great to see.
Yeah, I actually worked with my boss. He went through the program also. It's like, okay, we all know this. It's very interesting. Are you able, Michael? You want to put what? Did you have a question or you wanted to make a comment? You want to put it in the chat? Let me see, Michael. Because I really want to hear what you got to say being through the program, your alumni also. You want to try calling in? Maybe calling on the phone, using your phone as the, to speak, and we can still hear you. Let me see. Do I have the number here? Yes, I do. I want to give everyone an opportunity to speak. Rudy?
Yes, ma'am.
Why, Mike? Okay, I'm giving you, it's 8:48. I'm giving you 2 minutes, 2.5.
So let's give me 3.5 because there are a couple of things I want to talk about, including prep for prep, right? So first of all, I want to thank, was that Mr. Benson?
Yes.
For coming out and talk about prep for prep. I went through a better chance. We're just better, but right? I'm joking. The point that I'm saying though, with programs like Prep for Prep, and I worked diligently while we were at My 11 for those parents who our grandparents were here. These programs, are so vital because the Prep for Prep, the Better Chance, the Oliver Scholars, they ensure and carry through college, right? And even post college to help our young people, especially our persons of color. Give them an opportunity for different things. So I applaud, and I'm looking forward, actually. I know when I was at My 11, and I did call the office, actually, ironically, last week because I want to set up a meeting because I would like to get it back to the community for our young people. So I don't know how to say how great of a program and how great of an opportunity Prep for Prep is for young people. You know, so I want to make sure that parents, nephews, aunties, if you've never heard of the program, or you're scared, right? Or you're scared, it is worth every effort, every opportunity. So that's the first part when it comes to Prep for Prep. And as an alumnus of A Better Chance, I have friends. I have my own chat right now, and I graduated from high school 35 years ago. I graduated, and I'm still in strong communication with some of my brothers and sisters from Amherst ABC in Amherst, Massachusetts, right? So, ladies and gentlemen, that's networking. I'm going to stop because I can keep going about the importance of.
No, Rudy. All right, give me 1 second. Michael, are we able to hear you? Because I want to finish out the conversation around the prep before Rudy gives us the other information he has. Michael, are you able now? Are you?
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, awesome.
Fantastic. I had to dismiss myself and re-enter. Well, first, I just want to acknowledge that I am probably even more old school than most people here because I am an alum from Contingent 9. And I do sit on collegiate. I went to the collegiate school. I do sit on their alumni council. So, and my son actually goes to collegiate right now. Okay. But one of the things I wanted to acknowledge was that prep is now, and I know, Dondra, you could only say but so much, but prep is now also being run by a former alum. So I just want to say that the future is bright for prep. So the questions you guys had about what does it mean for students of color to be engaged in the experiences of wealth and feeling sort of ostracized sometimes from the haves and the have-nots, that I know is something that is on the new CEO's mind about how do we make that transition a lot better. What I would say about prep, though, Dondra, one of the reasons why I wanted to be here was I really want to see prep in more spaces. I've just been worried about parents' accessibility to prep. I know I'm only in prep because my mom happened to bump into somebody who happened to know about prep and shared with her. So not every parent, is in a space like this. So I would also challenge the committee to find ways that how can we get prep, TEAC, ABC programs to maybe be a part of some of the things we have in the community, because I do think that there's a lot of conversations to be had with parents about whether that is the right fit, what is the right fit, and how do we support parents in this journey. I would love to be a part of a conversation that helps talk to parents about how they make this possible for their kids, but I would also love for prep to be in the spaces and places that they don't normally find themselves. This is a committee of people that have time and have access to be here right now. There are parents that are all over that don't have the internet, that won't join this, that would love to have their kids in this program. So I'd love to figure out how prep can be a little bit more visible in the community. So thank you for allowing me to say a little bit.
Thank you. Thank you. Stance on DAI. Okay, Dorothy, I see that.
Yeah, thank you all for one, speaking so highly of Prep for Prep, and for sharing your own experiences. I'm from Brooklyn, born and raised. Prep for Prep has done a lot for me, so I'm willing to go above and beyond to share information about the program, to do anything possible to share just the opportunity to families about private schools and boarding schools as an option, even if it's not through Prep for Prep. And just, sharing that there's multiple possibilities in some of these spaces that people might not consider. So please do reach out to me. I put my email and my work phone number in the chat. If you would like to communicate and connect and think about more ways that we can promote the program, I'm willing to do these virtual information sessions. I'm willing to come out in person. I'm willing to table at events. I'm one of 2 Brooklyn admissions officers, so I do have another partner who just so happens to go to Berkeley Carroll with me at the same time outside of Prep for Prep. And there's multiple alums that are working on our admissions team. Our assistant director of admissions is a Prep 9 alum named Barry Cleckley. As Michael mentioned, our new CEO is also a Prep 9 alum. So yeah, we're vast in our numbers, but we can always do more. And especially with the current administration, and that's that's a whole that's a whole other conversation as far as
Exactly.
the trickle down effect.
Right.
But we are trying and we are still doing the work and we are still actively doing it. But we could always use some help. So I'll definitely reach out to anybody that would like to help, and please do reach out to me. I'm very flexible with my time.
Thank you, Mr. Benson. Do you have like a package put together that you can send me? I want to be able to send it out to the schools. Just to I was hoping that maybe a few schools would be on tonight because I did send this to our schools and stuff, but I would like to just share it out and maybe get some information put in our newsletter around it. And of course it would have your number, so if you see that you feel you're getting calls out of the blue or what, it's because we want to put it out there, and that way for you to educate more people around the program. So thank you so much. I appreciate your time and your presentation to this committee. Thank you.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you.
Everybody, please
Yeah.
enjoy the rest of your night.
You too. Mr. Daly, you're on.
Okay, I'm going back. Wait, I'm trying to. Hey, give me 1 second.
You see, give me 1 second.
Hey, I'm here. I'm here.
I know you.
Mr. Benson, I just sent you my personal contact. I would like to speak to you tomorrow or Friday if feasible. Please just copy it down and give me a call. I would appreciate that. Very, very quickly, there's so many things going on within our community. I'm sure the chair brought some of that information to you. I did come in at the tail end of the conversation around why I have chosen to look this way in terms of membership. To the committee member who was having started the conversation, please know that over the last couple of years, quorum and reaching quorum has been a struggle for a number of committees. And people join up, they said yes, they're going to do it. And before, once you sign that document, you were part of the committee. But then people sign up and never showed up to a meeting. They don't answer emails, the emails are wrong, whatever the reasons are. So to show your interest and be participatory is different. And the other question is that the leader of the committee can only be a board member. So it cannot be a person in the community to be chair of the committee. Just to answer that question really brief, and we could further that conversation later on. So a couple of things of importance. One, we lost, for those of you who've been on the committee for a long time, we had a young lady, Evelyn Gallimore, who was a board member and an avid member of the youth and education, who passed away, unfortunately, and her funeral is Saturday. If you were unaware of it, now you're aware. If you can show up, it's great, right? I want you, all of us, to show up and show support for the family, and but to understand that people do spend valuable time within their community and participate. A lot of times we find ourselves just going just because, and this is one of those times where we just go just because and to celebrate life. Two, our general board meeting have a lot of information. Our community board, unfortunately, is one of the least attended community boards in New York City. Our community, I'm just asking, I'm going from every committee, reminding every committee chair, remind the members, come out to the general board meeting. You will see that it's one of the least attended board meetings of all. There's so much information, so many questions, so many concerns that can be answered, not just about youth and education, but about your sanitation, about the parked cars, the violence, and anything that you might or might not have known that you even had this question until it comes up. So that's one. October 18th. I'm sure, Chair, you spoke about that. Just shake your head. You spoke about the 18th.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
so I'll
did.
skip that. I skip that. I'm just asking for everyone to show up as well. This month is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, as well as Domestic Violence Month. So if anybody who's coming to the meeting next week, Wednesday, I'm asking to wear either pink or purple in support, right? In support of someone. I'm sure most of us don't have to go too far to know someone who was affected by any of those two. As a matter of fact, on Friday, I have to go to a funeral of somebody who, just less than 2 years ago was diagnosed, and she's no longer with us, and she was only 55 years old. Matter of fact, she died 6 days after her birthday. So we're asking for your support to come out and do that. Lastly, please use the board. Please use the board. Reach out to the board if you have an issue. Volunteer your time. See what's happening. Ask questions. We're here to support you. We have an ADM that works very hard. We have staff that work, and they work for the community. And our chair, I'm going to tell you, Chair Grandison, our new appointed secretary, newly elected secretary, yay, right? She does do a lot of work, a lot of support. And so we all need your support. And again, I'm going back to that word. We have to fight together. If we just wait until things happen, they just run all over us, right? All over. I mean, like last time we had a conversation where they're putting a 29-story building in one of the other districts. That means they're complaining, no parking, no family value. You're losing all of this. The last thing I just want to say is that our hearts and mind. We lost a young man, actually. That's why I had to pause. We're doing a vigil for him. And if you're available on Saturday afternoon around 2 o'clock, we'll be doing a press conference right at Mile 11, right down the street from Mile 11 at Clarendon, right at the little hub, I don't know what they call it, the little park right there across the street from the Wyckoff, where the young man was unfortunately gunned down. He was killed on Sunday morning. Alleged domestic violence situation where the police came. He had a weapon. They fired one shot, and he succumbed to that bullet. There's a press conference about what is happening, and so again, I'm asking for your support. All right, taking up more than 2.5 minutes.
Yes.
There's so much more, but I'm going to stop here. And please utilize and read our newsletter. If you're not getting it, Ms. Farrer can put her email in the chat, so your email is there, so you're getting that contact around the information, speaking to our elected officials. And thank you very much, Chair Grandison, and thank you so much. Did you talk about how great Youth Happening was? How great it was? I'm sorry.
That was last month. That was last month.
Got it. Thank you so much. Yeah. Any questions for me?
Yeah, I
Is this
saw
a
there were two. When is press conference? Please confirm date and time.
The date is Saturday, so I believe that's October 12th, and the time is at 2 p.m. and it's literally Ralph Avenue, Clarendon Road, Ditmas Avenue, literally right there across the street from the deli, down the street from Footprints, in case you're trying to figure out what that location is.
Okay. And then which committee has input on the smoke shops showing up as candy stores?
So the smoke shop committee would be the Commerce Committee. Would be the license come through the Commerce Committee and get voted on at the Commerce Committee.
Is Mr. Benson still on the line? Are you still here? I saw that Miss George had asked what is a good time to call him, and I think he put his information in the chat. Do you have it, Miss Benson? Miss Benson, Miss George, did you see it?
Yes, I have it, but I just
Okay.
wanted to know what time, what's a good time, I know he's at work. What is his lunchtime, or if after work I can call him.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I think he left us. So,
Okay, thank you.
you're welcome.
Miss George, the office opens from 9 to 5.
Thank you.
Okay, no problem. Monday through Friday.
Thank you.
Okay.
Mhm.
Any other questions? Okay, here not. It is 9:05 p.m. And I thank each and every one of you for being here tonight. Can I get a motion to adjourn the meeting from anyone?
Yes, you can.
Kamar Swaby, raise a hand to end the meeting. So sorry.
Thank you. Can I get a second to adjourn?
I second the motion to adjourn the meeting.
Thank you, Ms. George. So at 9:06 p.m., the Youth and Education Committee meeting is adjourned. Thank